In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, my friends. This is Pinky.
And this is Priyanka.
And we're here to call out all things PakeAsPuck. Whilst eating some amazing cookies from San Jose. This woman, spectacular. I did make a video because you saw how big the cookie is. It's literally as big as my face.
It's like a brick. You know those cinder blocks?
Yeah.
It's like one square of those.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah. And I was just shocked. And she gave me 2 boxes like that.
Did you ask her, like, where did she come up with her proportions?
No.
Because, like, what inspired that particular size?
I have no idea.
It's girthy.
It's
heavy.
It's like I had to rearrange stuff in my suitcase. The 2 suitcases and I had so much in my backpack, so much in my duffel.
And you're carrying it all on your own now.
Yeah, and so I was exhausted when I came back.
Aww.
I tried and I couldn't wait to like eat some of the cookies, so I busted into the chocolate chip one because it was just like because soft chocolate chip cookies is my weakness.
But that's how it should be.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think it's Tate's.
No.
Green box.
No. Oh,
really?
I cannot believe.
They're so good when you dip them in milk.
No.
Because then they become soft.
Really? They do?
Yeah.
Do they really though?
No, they really do.
The only ones that I have personally.
You gotta count to like 6 or 7. And they kind of just melt off the crunchy part, and they're really good.
So it's like Oreos, like when you dunk Oreos.
But Oreos, sometimes you get a faulty one.
What do you mean?
One that you just keep soaking and they don't get soft? You've never had one of those?
No.
Oh my God.
Mine have always been 1, 2, 3, and I can eat it.
No, you get a faulty. I've gotten faulty ones before where I'm like, I'm soaking it, and then I go in for a bite and it's still crunchy, and I'm like, this is so disappointing.
No. Tates are my like absolute like. If somebody gives me Tates, I want to just throw them across the room.
You gotta dip them. Like I don't really enjoy them like alone, but
But there are people really who love crunchy cookies, and I'm just like,
no. Even like
tell me your
traumatization. Chip, I don't mind like if the edges are a little crispy, but the inside needs to be kind of soft.
Yes,
that I enjoy.
That's different. That's different. Tates is like. They are like a brick, not just as heavy as a brick. They're like a brick.
I do enjoy. Try it with cookies or like the ones with like walnuts in them. I like them in milk. They're really good.
All right, if I have an opportunity to have milk with me, which today I didn't have any dairy, and I was okay.
Okay.
No dairy.
Well, you sure you want to do this?
Well, it's at the end of the night.
Okay.
So it is what it is, and tomorrow I pack and leave. So I already packed half of the packing we did today. So, but yeah. So she gave me a snickerdoodle, and I didn't know what snickerdoodle was until.
Is there a nut in it?
It's white chocolate chips. Yes.
Interesting.
So snickerdoodle, and then half of it and then she gave me one that was just pure chocolate chip, and then a third cookie that was half chocolate chip brownie and half chocolate chip.
A brookie.
Yeah, and then she gave me like this literal brick. It was like this. It was shaped like a brick too, and it was named donut cake, like spelled like a donut, DOUGH. And I was just like, oh, I don't know about this one. And I was terrified of eating. I did break into the chocolate chip one, so I have that and the snickerdoodle in my travel bags. And I literally just.
It's just like a little bit.
I do. I just pinch it and pull, and whatever comes out is what I eat.
But it's satisfying.
Because that's as much as I can eat. It's very rich. So I can't wait for you to start munching on them. But how was your week?
The week was good. What's been going on?
Outside of, Diwali.
So we've got Diwali.
Yeah.
It's Diwali week, so it's kind of busy. I've got like a pretty long stretch that I'm working, but it's like the last, I can say it officially, domestic wedding, and then I have my international one.
I'm so mad I can't come with you to support you in that.
But I mean, honestly, I'll be working.
I know,
and I'm
but
working
like
weird hours. So.
But like, I wanted to be that person that you are for me. Like I wanted to like.
Next time we'll plan ahead, because there will be a next time.
There will be.
Yes,
because
we'll plan ahead so that I can take.
Because you need BTS.
I do.
Like when you posted those pictures this week of the photographer that took you in action, I was so happy for you that they did that for you, because I'm like, And I know, unless you set up your own tripod and then you take, do it, make a conscious effort to do it, but that's not where your brain is at when
I'm
you're
usually
working.
not in the shot. Like
That's what I
like
mean.
photographers will have me like hold the brush, and my hands are probably in the shot, but I'm my
Yeah.
face very rarely. Every now and then I'll have like even like a sister of the bride or somebody that's like, "Oh, let me get some content for you." And I'm like, "Please, I would
Yeah.
love that." And I do have some good footage like that. But that wedding actually that I posted about was really funny because so the photographer was Shaolin Photos, and he's really fantastic. We have like we'll goof around and stuff too, like at while we were doing the bridal shots and stuff. And my hair was just like up in a bun. I was just
Of course.
working,
Yeah.
and it got hot. I had my hair up in a bun, and then we were doing detail shots. So I go in. I wasn't expecting to be in the shot, and then he was trying to get some like sunrise silhouette shot, and he's like, "Wow, this looks awesome," and he showed it to me. And I was like, bro, I totally look like Miss Trunchbull. You
No.
cannot. You don't understand.
I
I
want to
just had
see
like
it.
those big. He edited it. I never
Oh.
got that picture. So there's that picture of with me with my hair up, but it doesn't look as bad. And then I did take it down. But the bride was cracking out. She's like, I haven't heard that reference in a long time.
Mrs. Treasure, you
Yeah.
do not look like
That's
you.
so that's
There's
just
no
been
way
our
you can
little
look
like
like her.
funny little thing, and even to this day, she'll message me like if she sees like a Trunchbull reel.
Right.
There was that like, oh yeah, I'm getting ready for fall, and I was like, yeah, I'm busting out. Like, you know how she wears like that big thing.
Yeah, the belt,
But we
the
still
back
laugh
belt.
about it, and it's awesome. But yeah, not. I'm not very flattering with a bun in a silhouette shot.
I don't know
But
who
again, he
is
respected
really.
that, and he was just like, "Okay, take your hair down. Let's get another shot."
That's
And
amazing.
I have that picture now.
That's
So.
good. That's good. I was happy when I saw those. I was like, people need to see you in action,
Yeah, I always forget to set up the camera. I get in and I'm just like, let's just get the job done. That I forget to capture a lot. I'll start off the season pretty good, but then by the end of it, I'm just so burnt out. I'm
You're
like, let's just
tired.
get the job done,
Well, I mean, yes, like because we have kind of similar, right? Like obviously your hours are morning hours majority of the time. My hours are nighttime hours majority of the time.
Yeah.
But like, you're still traveling a lot for your job. And yes, it's right now it's local, but as the more like you get out there, it's gonna be like more destination weddings. It's gonna be more, and even if it's like, oh well, I'm in New Jersey and you're in Chicago, but I love your makeup.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more domestic traveling for you
Yeah.
as your career grows,
I would love
right?
that. Yeah.
And traveling, I mean, if anybody,
It takes it out of you.
it's traveling is exhausting. You definitely have to love your job because if traveling is a requirement for your job, which for us it is, we have to love that job to do it because traveling is so exhausting. It wreaks havoc on your body, and the recently, because I've been traveling by myself, I've been kind of relishing it because I don't during the day, I only talk when I have to talk.
Okay.
And right now with like my mouth situation, that has ended up being amazing because then I'm fully prepared to do my shows, which is 75 minutes of talking. That's a
Yeah.
lot of fucking talking.
But like when somebody like me is like traveling with you, you do some. Even though I respect that you need like quiet time when you're preparing for your set,
But it's still
we're still
engaged,
engaging
yeah.
and we're talking and we're goofing around and
Right.
you have to use your mouth.
Right.
And that hurts.
And like, I mean, it's the traveling itself is exhausting. And so when you can feel fulfilled at the end of the day from that job, then it makes it worth it,
Yeah.
So I totally get it. Like every time after a break that I have, whether it is like a 3-week break or an 8-week break, I always feel revived the first couple of shows. And then as they go, because sometimes I'm literally like weekend after weekend after weekend, right?
City to city.
City to city,
Yeah.
not just like the same city.
Right. It's
And-
not like you're just doing like back-to-back shows in the same
Like
city.
last week, Thursday I was in San Jose, Friday I had a flight, which was delayed 4 hours. And so I had to
Oh
like,
yeah, I saw about that.
yeah, I was like, and it wasn't even like a big airport, like, cause we've been to the San Jose airport, right? And it like, we weren't where we were, which was like the main area. I had to go down and under, like, I was in like the basement of the San Jose International Airport, and then
Oh,
I ended
yikes.
up losing my
Were
neck
you at
pillow.
the same venue?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I went outside and took a
You got
balcony
it?
shot again.
That's awesome.
I posted it and
I
everything.
missed that.
But then, like, but then going to Phoenix for a Saturday show, and that wasn't a nighttime show, that was a matinee, so I didn't even get like
A full day.
a full day or even like 12 full hours to like just
That was the next day?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
So you had to travel.
Friday by the time I got there in Phoenix, it was, I think, by the time I hit the hotel, it was 8 p.m. or something. And I was like, I got to do these lives because I can't do the lives the next
Yeah.
day. And so, you know, I go on and I've been good, just half an hour. I put my timer. I'm like, go, go, go. Because I can't draw it out. Because then I don't know what to talk
I'm
about.
so impressed by you. That's so hard.
It's very difficult.
That's really hard to do. That's a lot of discipline.
But I mean, I did it and it got done. And then I was like, shit, I need to eat something. Because I hadn't, like, the last thing I ate was in the morning. And I had already either, you know, burned the calories or diarrheaed it out because I noticed when I'm in airplanes, like when I have to do airplane travel, I tend to dehydrate myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to use the bathrooms in the airport. I don't want to use the bathroom in the airplane. And then now with this additional issue with just the stress diarrhea, no.
Yeah. You're just very, very aware
Right.
and cautious.
And then also now I'm also have to be like, oh shit, someone might do a double take. So now I have to like have this mask plastered onto my face because God forbid I'm having a bad day because I don't feel good and somebody
Thinks that you're a bitch.
right, they said that in one of my lives. They did. I was in I think it was San Diego. So I was doing my live in San Diego, which that's one of my fears is somebody coming in and being angry with me, right? For whatever
We
reason.
talked about this with the other, what was her face? That one singer.
Chaperone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and she did. So, and because that's my biggest fear, that's why I haven't been done lives until recently, right? I was like, I gotta just get over this, and I will just do the best I
mean, people are
can.
gonna think what they're gonna think.
I
You
know.
can't worry about that, but that's much harder to actually do
Yes,
because you never want to like leave that kind of impression on somebody.
right. Because then now what's gonna happen, right? Like if and this is exactly what happened. She saw me at the local grocery store here, and I must have been stressed out or something, but
Which you're allowed to be.
right,
It
like
happened.
it's life,
Yeah.
right? And so, and she just wrote one statement. Pinky is so rude. I saw her at Caputo's and I smiled at her and she didn't smile back, or or I think she wrote she rolled her eyes at me, and yes, and I was like, I chose to respond to that.
Did you see her? Like, do you recall seeing
No,
her?
no, but and that's the thing. That's the thing.
You could have just like happened to look over in that direction to see if they had something that you needed.
Right. It's like if you were behind the produce that I was looking at and you saw me, I was looking at the produce. I wasn't looking at you, right?
She could have honestly just come up to you.
But I said that on the live.
Yeah.
I said that on live because I didn't want to leave
Oh yeah,
that
that's the
unaddressed.
I chimed in on that live.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that, like, hey, next time just come up to me.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm not like if you come up to me, I'm not going to be rude to you because
Yeah.
that takes courage to go up to somebody,
Right.
especially
Like
a
you
stranger.
don't have to be creepy about it, but you can just like pull up next to me and be like,
Right.
hey, you're Pinky, right? Hey.
I'm not going to deny it. I'm going to pretend I'm whoever you want me to be. If you think I'm
Yeah.
Beyonce, I'm going to be like, hell yeah, I'm Beyonce, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so so that's the additional
That's
of that.
so hard. It's
right?
like you're not allowed to be human.
But when I'm by myself, I notice it's a little bit worse because when I'm with other people, the other people notice the double takes before I do, and then they'll like give me a subtle heads up like incoming or whatever. Like all of my friends do that, right?
Yeah.
Ravina did that all the time. But then when you're by yourself, you don't have that luxury anymore. Like
No, and honestly, you probably just want to like put your earbuds in and veg out.
yeah. Do you know how long it took me to get out of the San Jose venue? Because I thought that everybody had left, and usually I'm pretty good with leaving after everybody leaves, right? Because security and all that stuff. And so the host was like, "Oh, I can give you a ride back to your hotel." I was going to ask somebody to walk me because it literally, I don't know if you remember where we stayed, but I was on the other side of the street. So the club was on Second, we had stayed on First.
Yeah.
And they had me on Market, which was on the other side.
Okay.
So I was close. Like I saw all the places
Much
where we
closer
took
than
pictures.
where we were. Yeah.
Like, and it was fine. And I was fine walking back because I knew if I had one of the staff members with me, nobody would really approach me too much. But because I didn't, I was bombarded. And
On your way out.
right, and that's fine. I wasn't expecting it, which is why it kind of shocked me, and I was just like, like my suitcase was right in the middle because I was taking my shit to her car, right? And I think one of them was like, "Oh, I'll get the suitcase out of there." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. We're taking a picture with the suitcase." And so I pulled the suitcase in front of me so people knew that I was trying to leave, right? They were polite, so I was polite, right? If you're polite to me, I will be polite back.
Right.
But they grew lady balls of steel, and they're like, "Can we get a picture?" And I'm not going to deny you.
And they had the opportunity to, right? Like, you were right there.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you had to also, like, have that boundary, right? Because if, like, they saw and they want a picture and they, like, hollered over another 20 girls or something.
That's exactly what happened.
Right?
It was like bing, bing, bing. Like, it was 4 different groups of people.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't mind doing.
I don't mind. But I wasn't
tired at the end of the day.
I wasn't mentally prepared for that. Like, when I go into a situation mentally prepared, it's fine. So then in Phoenix, I was like, okay, this could happen, right? Because this is what happened in San Jose. Let's learn from
because you're on
experiences.
your own.
Yeah. And so I was more mentally prepared for that on Saturday, and it happened again.
Really?
But I wasn't as
nice,
like
though.
it is definitely nice.
There's the other side of it where it's just like it's very loving.
It's very loving, and that's why I don't want to discourage people from coming up to me if they see me in the wild, right? Like I want, like if even one of my thousands of videos makes you happy and you feel like you want to tell me and you have the courage, do it, because I don't know if I saw Ed Sheeran on the street, I don't know if I would have the courage to walk up to him and be like, "Oh my God, I love you." Like, I don't know if I would be able to do that. And he's a short king, you know what I mean?
I don't think I've been able to say that to a celebrity type,
right?
A celebrity.
And I mean, for what it's worth, they have made me their celebrity, so I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. Just give me a minute to breathe, and then we.
It takes because nobody standing anywhere, if they had like a swarm of like 10 to 15 people come up to them, would be comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like it takes you by surprise.
Yeah, like I'm pretty good at airports because people, like, when if they're sitting and eating, and this happened in San Jose. Like, there was a mom with her 2 kids, and she saw me, and I had walked back twice because I walked by her once with my pink backpack. Makes me look like a fucking turtle. And then I walked back because I was trying to look for my neck pillow. So she saw me when I came back because I was like, obviously she was facing me. And she's like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Hey girl, hey." And I just kept going. And that's what I do.
But you acknowledged her.
Right. Like, I wasn't being an asshole. I'm like, I'm only an asshole if you're an asshole to me.
You got to get one of those, like, the toy where it has the 2 hands and you could clap it.
Yeah. Oh!
If you're hiding it in your sleeve, you're like, "Hi."
Or I could have it in my fanny pack and like take it.
Yeah. It would just be so stupid.
It could be one of the small ones too, not like the big one.
Like the little mini hands.
Yeah. So I guess this could be a combination of a grind your gungies and a hot take.
Okay.
Just rolled up into one. Okay. So, I don't know if you remember. It's okay if you don't, but I like to do a "What's on my Swipes" video once a week, just to let people know.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's on TikTok, and so I let everybody outside of TikTok know what the hell's going on over there, right?
Yeah.
And it is just like Dateline, my version of Dateline or E! News or whatever. And so I decided to normally I do like my top 3 things that I liked that I was seeing that week, but this was just a singular one. Now, it was a mom, and she's showing how she gets her 4 kids ready, 4 kids, okay, ready to go to bed, and how she turns her dining room into a bedroom for them every night. While her and her husband sleep in the only bedroom, which is very spacious. There's no clutter around her bed. Her and her husband sleep in the king-size bed. And they have a nice flat screen TV and a PlayStation 5. Meanwhile, the 4 kids, are sleeping outside in the dining room.
In a home?
On pallets in a 1-bedroom apartment.
On pallets?
Like, just, how in India they make pallets? Yeah.
Like Platari?
Yeah. In a 1-bedroom in like the Seattle area. And on top of that, she used to have pets in this home. Okay. And then on top of that, she's pregnant with her 5th child. So now there's going to be 7 people living in this 1-bedroom apartment, pallets on the ground, whatever you need to do, right?
I'll have to see this video.
And I got really irritated at this video, not because of the fact that they're in a one-bedroom apartment, right?
No,
People
but
different, people like,
budgets are different,
right,
family
budgets are
finances are
different,
different.
finances are different. A lot of people, tiny homes, right? They go
Yeah,
for tiny
that part
homes.
doesn't bother me. I grew up in an apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not the part that bothered me. The part that bothered me was the amount of crap that they had, like in the dining room, in the living room, in the kitchen, versus the amount of crap that they had in the bedroom. It was not like, it was like, okay,
They needed the sanctuary. They
yeah.
needed
So
the
you needed the sanctuary. However, you didn't want your kids to have some sort of sanctuary. And then the part that irritated me the most is, okay, fine. Everybody's finances are different. You know what your situation is. You know that you don't have the most lucrative job. You know that you are living paycheck to paycheck, or even, link card to link card, whatever your financial situation is.
Some people just choose to live in an apartment.
Right, and that's fine.
Right.
Why are you pregnant? Why are you bringing another human being into this world, into your world that you have created? And then on top of that, why are you making the children sleep outside, where if an intruder comes in,
That's where my thought
the
went.
kids are right there. Like, the kids have no protection, right?
Yeah.
And
They
listen,
likely sleep with their door closed, and like that's one of the biggest things is like you should always close your kid's door. So a couple of things, right? Like we close the door for the kids for one, safety, just in
right.
general. You close the door from potential intruders or whatever. It gives you
Or even fire. It's one more barrier
right,
for
and
fire.
that was the other thing. I was like, you should be closing your door for fire reasons.
Yes.
Because if there were anything that came up, it's your first line of protection.
Yes.
So in that regard, yeah, the kids should likely sleep in the room or flip-flop it where the kids are all in the room and the parents sleep outside.
Right.
We had, like growing up, I was in a one-bedroom apartment with my parents. Was it a one-bedroom? I think so. And me and my brother had to share a bed for a while.
And that's fine.
I'm pretty sure me and my brother shared the bed and my parents slept on the floor in one bedroom.
But like, you were all together. You were all safe in a bed.
Not ideal.
Right.
Things are very different now, unfortunately. When they bought their house, it was great. We had space, but for a brief period of time, that's what we did. And then if we did ever sleep out in the living room, like if like my aunt and uncle or like cousins or whatever came, there was an adult with us in the living room.
Exactly. Like when I first watched this video, I didn't stitch it right away. I didn't stitch it at all. I talked about the video.
Just concerns.
Right, just concerns that I was having, and because I wanted to hear what everybody else's take on it was. I wanted to see who was going to be falsely supportive of her or their situation, and who was like, this is a concern. You don't have the proper funds to house this many human beings in one location. That's what it is at the end of the day. This many living, breathing things, because you did have pets before. I don't know what happened to the pets afterwards. Yeah. Somebody did a deep dive into her videos and was just like, there. I don't understand how Child Protective Services have not been called on them. I don't and now that
was the place like a mess, like disgusting?
It wasn't. It was. All I can remember is it was very cluttered. Like there was toys on top of toys.
Yeah,
which
and
it
that's
happens.
A given. You have a ton of kids,
right? And I'm just and I think during the whole video, what irritated me the most, outside of the kids were sleeping outside and the two of them were sleeping inside.
Was there just like stuff everywhere? Because like if you're sleeping, what if something were to tip over?
Exactly, like it wasn't it. And then on the flip side, I saw another person who, I think 5 people, 3 kids, 3 kids and 2 adults. Okay, 1-bedroom apartment, so same situation, right? Less people, obviously, but still 5 versus the 6 that they have right now. 7th coming with this other Seattle group, right? Seattle family. However, these parents, they bought a bunk bed. They put it on the side where the dining table would go, right? They put the bunk bed there, so you could put a curtain up if you wanted to for privacy. And then in the bedroom closet, that's where they had like, the pack and play. They had that for the baby. And then the parents slept on the bed.
So my concern was like, at what age does this Seattle family transition their child out to the living room space or like the dining room space?
Like when this new baby comes.
When are they transitioning? And how are all the kids staying asleep through that? Because that was not the case for me.
No idea. And during the whole entire video, she just kept saying, I hope no one judges us for this because
Okay,
this is
right
not.
there. She made this for content.
She did, and that's what irritated the
She made
fuck
that to
out
go
of me.
viral.
That's the part, like, and she kept saying it over and over. I think I actually have it. I don't know where my phone is, but I can show it to you.
Okay.
She kept saying it over and over again. We like to make sure that we don't judge people, so I hope that no one's judging us for our living conditions and blah 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 blah.
That means they don't sleep in the living room. She
Yeah.
made that whole shit up just to have some sort of viral ability.
I have no
Or
idea.
I don't, yeah.
But when she kept saying that over and over again in the video, I was like, you don't care about your children. And if they do sleep in the living room while you and your husband sleep in a nice, comfortable bed, and if they slept on air mattresses in the living room or they slept on bunk beds in the living room, that's one thing. But fucking pallets, just comforters on the ground.
Yeah, no.
Like, she's literally moving her dining room table out of the dining room. I don't know where she's putting it. Like, is she putting it in the hallway in front of the door so that nobody does come in and invade her home? I have no idea. But it's like, what are you doing, girl? Like, my whole thing is, I understand that everybody has different finances, different priorities.
I want to like space plan the apartment.
No,
I kid you not. Like you could have done like a low, like Oriental style table that could turn into a bed. You know,
exactly.
They could all,
Like, you could have,
or it could expand into a bed.
but I don't think that's the concern there.
No.
From watching the clutter,
But if
extreme
you're,
clutter.
if you're like, you have a dining table, whatever size. How is it being collapsed and put away?
She's not collapsing it. She was pulling it, legs and all. She was pulling it out of the dining room where where the 4 kids were going to sleep. And granted, she did not have all 4 of these kids with this one man. She brought 2 kids into the relationship, and he brought, I think, 1 or 2 kids into the relationship. So it's a blended family. No, he brought 1, I think, and that kid's not always there because what ended up happening is the baby mama was
You know
like,
a lot about this family.
I know. It's because I've been inundated on the taking talks with this. And I've just, every time I see people's take on it, I'm like when the people are like, she's doing the best that she can. I'm like, actually, she's not. She's putting the kids in the line of fire if something were to happen. She's not taking, like, the priorities
I hate
are
that
not
they're,
there.
like, right in the front door. And
And then
I've lived in apartments before. It's terrifying, dude.
It
Like,
is.
you're like any person like walking through the hallway. I was like looking at the people. Like there was times where I was definitely too young to be left alone in the apartment, but we had to do it,
Had
right?
to do it.
And those little sounds, they really creep you out.
Yeah,
and
they
like you
do.
got little kids just sleeping out there.
She did. And that combined with, oh, I hope nobody judges us because everybody's,
She wanted that.
you want people.
She wanted people to comment.
To stitch and comment
Yep.
and all that stuff, and you want people to come after. And then somebody else was the baby mama. I think she was like that, or somebody else who had decided to do a deep dive into her account and look at her past videos just to see what kind of person she is. Right? You can't base something on just
One
a
video.
60-second video.
Yeah.
Right? Let's now go look at other videos. And are they consistent with their messaging? Are they
Find some validity in it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is this what they truly are like? And guess what this other person found out? She posted one time about how, like, she had moldy clothes that she was trying to clean. She posted about how, like just the living condition, like, again, how was CPS not called? How was CPS not called? How is the landlord okay with this? And it's no different than a couple months ago, there was a couple who were living in a storage unit, and they were showing people how they were living in a storage unit. And I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
A family?
Just a boyfriend, girlfriend. And I was like,
Kind of smart.
yeah, no, but yes, super smart. But I'm like, why did you put it out on the internet? Like,
Save that shit for yourself.
yes, like, why are we, like, my whole thing is, why are we just putting everything and anything online for the sake of going viral and somehow ending up for a 10-minute segment on Good Morning America? Like, get the fuck out of here. They don't pay you for that.
And there's the other side of it, is that like if God forbid, like corporations or more like top dogs kind of figure out that people can do this, they're gonna try to get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Right? And
like, now,
it's gonna ruin it for everybody.
like, the storage units are probably gonna go jack up in prices now.
Because you never know who's gonna
take advantage of it.
Given the situation that we're in
Yes.
economically,
The housing crisis, all that stuff.
It could take off.
Like, my issue with this family in Seattle, and I know their names, but I don't want to say their names.
Right.
But my main issue is not the fact that they're 6 people going on 7 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment, my main 2 things is the fact that the kids were outside
We
instead
don't
of
have enough
inside.
square foot per capita at this point,
Right.
right? Like,
So
one
why are you
person
making
means
another baby? Like, why the fuck are you making another baby? You don't have space for the children that
I
you
can't
have.
speak to that. Some people just
Don't do it.
I don't really have words for
If you
it.
cannot provide for
They
the,
think that they are. That's the messed up
and
part.
that's, yes.
I think that they're not. You think that they're not. But they think that they are.
Or they know that they're not and they don't give a flying fuck. Because that's what this video told me.
There's lots of
It was
perks to having lots of kids and tax breaks and
I know why.
programs that allow
know
it
why.
to be
I know. We have-
justified.
I know so
I-
many people.
Right.
I know.
So sometimes they leverage that, and
And then
it's nice.
And then I get mad because I'm like, why can't I be like that? Why can't I? Why can't I work the system like
We
that?
have morality.
This is why I can't go on a murder rampage, because I have a morality. Because I'm like, oh, but like, what if they're a future doctor or something? You know?
Yo, speaking of,
Future
I watched
doctor.
Sweet Bobby.
You did?
So I watched Sweet Bobby.
Yes. Tell me.
I don't know. Do we want to do spoilers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a warning.
What the fuck, Simran?
Yeah.
What's
Simran, you stupid cunt.
So Simran, here's the thing. What I didn't like at the end was that she reached out to Bobby and was just like, I really have some things that I need to sort through and that I need to speak to like a therapist. I forgot what other word she used, but she said that she needed to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking cop-out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Like, you can't do all that and then just say, I really need to,
I have some trauma I have to work through.
I need to work. Yeah.
That's what they
That's
do.
not okay.
That's
And then you
what they
get
do.
away with it. That's pathetic.
That's what these kids do because they watch it on social media, and social media is telling them that if you're traumatized, it's okay if you behave ratchet, and it's not.
You are traumatized, fine. You took the time to create 60 some accounts.
How are you keeping track of all of these lives?
Fucked with your cousin.
For 10 years. For 10 years. Like,
you need to be locked up.
I kept going back and forth. Like, I was getting mad at, what's the cousin's name?
Simran.
No. Simran is Bobby, but like the chick. What was the chick's name? The girl,
Sajni. Or Sanji.
No. Is it?
Oh, Kriti?
Kriti, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I kept going back and forth and being mad at Kriti and then being mad at Bobby, and I'm just like, because I was like, I can't wait to figure out who this is. This is not a real person. I knew from the get-go.
Right. We knew that
because
that's
we've watched
where we're headed.
Catfish. Yeah.
I don't know how you could talk to somebody for that long and never have met them.
That's my thing.
You didn't see the signs there.
Like, and the fact that he didn't recognize you when you went up to the club to him, and he was like, "Who the fuck are you?" And that wasn't warning bells to you.
So when did she meet him at the club?
This was early on, when they were talking.
Okay, so maybe fine. I'll bite.
No.
She was like, she's like, he was smashed, you know?
She
like,
did,
maybe-
yeah, she made
and so
excuses.
she made excuses, but I can understand that if you'd only like talked to him like a couple of times online.
I don't
right?
think it was just a couple of times. I think she was knee deep already. I think the relationship
That's
had
really
already
fucked up.
formed, and like she did what South Asian women do. She made excuses for her man.
So that was the other piece of it that was super, super triggering for me because without giving away names,
Yeah.
I was in a toxic relationship with somebody of similar descent, and we'll just call him Robert.
Robert.
Because,
Yeah.
anyways, so as I was watching this, the part where, like, okay, Bobby said that, oh, me and Sajni were breaking up, we're getting divorced, blah, blah, blah. He was, like, on the down. And then I think they got together, like, after he was shot, right?
Yeah.
So they got together and
then
all
was
was
in a
good.
coma.
Right. All was good. They were lovey-dovey. She recognized her feelings for him. Great. Up until then, I was like, okay, love can start that way, right? Great. It was when he started showing the aggressions of, where were you? Mm-hmm. She had to, like, check in with him if she stepped away from the computer to go to the bathroom.
I was like, girl, that should have been a red flag for you.
I've been there.
No.
I've been there, and I tolerated it for years.
How?
You don't
No, I
know
know, I
you don't know the
know.
whole past.
Yeah.
So I've been there where everything was all good, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, there were some red flags leading up to it, which now in retrospect I should have went running a long time before then. But I did. I made excuses. He apologized.
But like in that
We
moment,
worked through it.
what made you stay in that moment though?
You're just in so deep. You're in so deep.
Like you think
They
you
have a
love this
hold on you.
person that much?
Those images of her face changing, the swollen eyes, her whole face got droopy, depressed, and sad, and she just felt this need to apologize to him
Yeah.
and to just let him know that she does love him and that she didn't mean it like that. I've been there.
Like I felt
You
so
don't
bad for her.
realize how it's happening,
Yeah.
but they somehow mentally get a hold of you.
Like your friends never even said anything to you?
They did.
Okay.
They did, and
But it was just like you don't know him like I do. Was it
yeah,
one of
you kind of
those?
just caught up. He found a way to paint my friends in a negative light. That like,
Yeah,
like
to drive a wedge between you
they
and the
don't
people.
know us. They
Yeah.
don't know us. We're fine. You got this. Like, and then the whole time you fucking cheated on me.
Yeah.
And I found out afterwards. It honestly took him going away to school and me going away for a while too to get like that break from that loophole. Remember,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
talking about the loophole.
Yeah.
Like you wake up, send them the selfie,
The
and then you
loop.
do. Yeah,
She was in a never-ending loop.
That's what I was in for a very long time, and it took me having to go abroad for the haze to kind of clear.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and he left for his med program, and then I started to see things a lot more clearly. But things like that did happen.
That's insane.
Where if I stepped away, if I was out with my friends, where were you? Why weren't you answering my calls? I text you at this time. Where were you?
That's insane.
And I felt the need to answer to him.
Right, because you
And
thought you loved him.
that I owed him that kind of
Yeah.
explanation.
You're in a
like,
relationship.
that this was
You
supposed
could
to be my
potentially-
person.
Yeah.
That if I were to marry him, of course I don't want him to have doubts on me. So I felt the need to
Prove that you
explain
are
myself
trustworthy.
to him. But then the fights got so nasty that I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to see my friends.
Yeah.
And he found a way to isolate me from everybody.
Yeah.
And then he became my person.
Right.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Super
And
fucked
but
up.
that was like a real person.
Right.
This
And
was
so that
even
was the other
worse.
thing. So even though I knew like the kind of background of the story where like this person is a catfish, those tags super triggering for me when I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, fuck, I've been there.
If I had
like,
known your past, I would have given you a heads up.
No. I'm fine. I'm like way past it. But I'm just saying like from a reaction standpoint,
Yeah.
my head went to that. Because when I saw it happening, I felt her pain. I was like, fuck.
Oh.
She's in this so deep. How is she gonna get out?
Yeah.
I did not see the cousin thing come through.
Listen,
I was like, what the fuck?
I thought it was some like weirdo in their mom's basement. Like I just thought
That
it
it
was
could have been like a random person.
yeah, I thought it was a random person, but just the fact that like because there was so much that didn't make sense. Like he had a stroke and then all of a sudden he was calling you or messaging you on Facebook when he woke up from his stroke. I was like, have you known any stroke victims? I was like, I think you need to watch more crime documentaries is what I think you need to do, because even just I'm not a doctor obviously, but I know that when somebody first comes out of a stroke,
panel of doctors talking to her.
exactly.
What?
Like if somebody just came out of a stroke, there's no way that they're trying to get their way to a cell phone or a computer to try to message you on Facebook.
But the witness protection part of it.
And then the witness protection
So
part.
like, fine,
Like,
you had a stroke, you survived it, you remember everything, you're still functional. Okay, you have feelings for this person, you thought of them, I'll bite.
okay.
But like, you went into witness protection and you found a way to make a profile with the same name?
No. Exactly.
There's no way.
There were so many holes, and I was just like, I just wanted to like, and I think I would have been one of those friends for you or for whoever or for her. I'm like, girl, I will smack I will
I had
shake
my friends
you.
trying to shake me.
Yeah.
And then like
I had a friend like
shit
that.
just went like up in flames for a while, and honestly once I did break free, thankfully my friends still came back to me, but for a while they were kind of just like, she is going to have to learn the lesson on her own. We talked about it
Yeah.
afterwards, and they're just like, you just couldn't see it.
I had a friend like that. in high school. And growing up, we had a big Indian community in our town, but I wasn't really close to any of them. And so once I got to high school, I made two friends, Indian friends, and they were from the same family. And so I got invited to their stuff a lot because my family was almost null and void, right? And so they're like, oh, Pinky, you want? I was like, sure, why not? So I was always at their house, always at family functions. Like I was just like the adopted daughter, you know. And then she was younger than me. So one of them was older than me, one was younger than me. We did a girls trip to Cape Cod and everything. So we were like this close, you know. And then she started talking to a guy that she met online. And by then I had already gone away to college. And she hadn't gone away yet because she was younger than me, right? And so she's like telling us about this guy she's married to this man now.
Okay.
She tried, like, and everybody told her, everybody was like, even my mom, and my mom's a good judge of character.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, take a step back, take a step back. Like, we were trying to be gentle about it.
Yeah.
And then, same situation. She got isolated. She wasn't talking to her friends anymore. I was like, what is going on? Like, and back then we were writing letters to each other, right? Like,
Yeah.
because I was at UConn, she was back home.
Yeah.
And then she tried to commit suicide. She threw herself off of a bridge, a highway overpass, and I don't know how she survived. She ended up, her face is still fucked up from this. Her jaw was locked, and like, she's married to this man now.
I almost married him.
I'm glad you didn't. Like, and they came to visit once here. And
I'm sorry about your friend. That's
no, I know.
Really messed up.
But she decided she's like your friends. You
and
need to learn on your own.
I empathize only in that, like, I understand what it feels like to be just like trapped.
Yeah.
Right? And it takes a lot of willpower to be able to walk away if they let you.
I know.
They don't always let you. I had to, like, I physically kicked this person out of my car.
Yeah.
Handed my phone off, turned my phone off and handed it off to people. I'm like, you need to get a hold of me. You call my mom. Like, I had to literally run the other way to break away from him. Quit my job, found a new job, like everything, you know, it was bad. But,
and it was hard for her because she was older. And you know, being in our culture.
Yeah, you've been with, and I got stuck in that too. I was like, I've been with this person for so long. I've committed a decent amount of time with this person.
Yeah.
To just drop it and potentially start over?
No.
That's kind of scary. And of course, parents are just like, well, I bet that he aged the take it. And I'm just like, yeah, but I'm not going to settle for that guy.
No.
Which I almost did. He had me believe that he was going to change his ways. And he almost convinced me to go to a courthouse and get married.
Megan, no.
Right. And I actually considered it. But God was looking out. Because we went out to lunch. Or
all 1 million of them were looking out for you.
Everybody was looking out because we went out to, I think, dinner with his sister that night. That we had talked about this sort of stuff and we were planning to go like over the weekend. Okay? It was fucked up. And we're sitting there at dinner and there was a bachelorette party at the restaurant. And I remember the way that I felt at that dinner. All of a sudden I look over at him and I think he knew what I was thinking. Because I was just like, if I marry you, that means I don't get a night out with my girls.
Yeah, you don't.
And I love my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And he tried to talk to me about it afterwards. I'm like, it'll be okay, you guys can still celebrate afterwards. And I'm like, who with who?
You made me push everybody away.
None of my friends like you.
Yeah, you made me push them away.
We have nothing to celebrate. But slowly, the light started going off.
Good.
You know, the haze was clearing, and I
think going away helped you.
Yeah.
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 And I finally was able to just like see things a lot clearly, and I ran the other way.
I felt like I said, I had so many reactions. Like I recorded all my reactions because I
Really?
had nobody to like say these things to.
Oh my God.
And so I picked and chose which ones to post online and stuff. But I was just like, I don't, and I think your personality and her personality are similar in the way that like you guys are very compassionate. You guys are you like to joke around and say I'm the softer side of me, right?
Yeah.
And the whole time that's what I was like, nah, girl. If every time I tried to get this person,
We get played, man.
no, if every time I tried to get this guy to meet up with me and he made some sort of excuse, after the third time, I'd be like, peace out, motherfucker. I'm not doing this.
Right. In this certain
In this
instance,
situation,
absolutely. I don't
yeah.
think I would have let somebody play me that
No.
for that long.
Like, the fact that she was so nice and she was so understanding, I was like, nah, girl, you
How
need
do you
to tough it
exchange
up.
I love yous without seeing somebody?
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to just...
I love yous. She didn't want to go into it, but they had sexual conversations.
Yeah. Like,
Without ever seeing
you
this
had
person?
phone sex is what you had. She had
So
phone
you mean
sex.
to tell me that you had phone sex with
And not
somebody
even-
that was hooked up to tubes in the hospital that you've never met?
And not even verbal phone sex, like typing phone sex. Like, she was sending him messages.
She was sending him voice notes.
Yes.
And he, like,
and he was not, he was texting back. And I was like, that would have been another clue. Like, if I send you a voice memo and you don't send me one back, then it's like, okay, and you don't explain, hey, I can't right now because of where I am. What are you doing? All right. Leave your questions, comments, all that BS down below. We will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.